Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
This is big news for the XRP community. Esoteric XRP bringing this to us. Earlier, I posted a video about a guy who revealed that Wells Fargo has been training on a Swift replacement. So they had been working on this for a couple of years now. He says, but now I got an online service agreement update from Wells Fargo talking about real-time payments by the clearinghouse, which is indeed a Ripple partner. And so guys, here is the updated statement. Bill Pay Real-Time Payments, or RTP service, which we've talked about on this channel, uses the RTP network operated by a third party, the clearinghouse. This is an established Ripple partner. When you send a payment using RTP service, you authorize us to deduct the amount of the payment from your account immediately, and the funds will typically be made available to the payee within seconds. After it is sent, a real-time payments cannot be canceled or amended. You can request that the payee return funds to you, but the payee is not required to return the funds even if you entered an incorrect amount, sent a payment to the wrong payee. So by utilizing this service, you authorize Wells Fargo to share your personal information, including your name, Wells Fargo account number, the routing transit number, with the clearinghouse. You may not send more than $5,000, so that is the limit for this particular service, through the RTP service in a single payment. All this just to reiterate that this service is now online, guys. It was in the pipe since, I think it was 2020, but now finally coming to light. The replacement for Swift now being utilized by one of the big American banks, Wells Fargo, integrating with real-time payments by the clearinghouse, which is in fact a Ripple partner. And so Esoteric XRP just bringing up that partnership here in this article, just demonstrating Ripple partner FIS and the clearinghouse did join forces to bring real-time payments for U.S. banks, again from back in 2020. And so just down here, yeah, he reiterates they have been doing this for at least 6 months now. We know that FIS did integrate with them back in 2020. But here's another document brought to us by Tiger Mike here on Twitter. And I don't know if you guys can read that. Boy, the text is really small here. Let me get in real close. Just down here, I'm not going to scream because I'm really close to the mic now. Down here it says, the digital cash states are recorded and transferred via distributed ledger that mirrors the bank's existing general ledger. Cross-border payments are facilitated by transferring digital cash states between banks via the distributed ledger system. This eliminates the need for utilizing the Swift messages and other payment rails. So, as you guys can see, an alternative to the Swift system. This does indeed eliminate the use for Swift, and again, this is a document from Wells Fargo. If you guys can see here, let me see if I can punch in and post just to show you guys that. So another interesting document, just kind of reiterating the same point here. Now payments are going to be going through the clearinghouse, which is a Ripple partner. So that's interesting, just another step in the right direction for XRP hodlers, the XRP community. Those who have been waiting so long for XRP utility. And so just to that point here, Mr. Poole on Twitter recently posted this. He posted this last night at around 11:33 p.m. Again, March 14th, which was yesterday, a code. And he's been very cryptic with his tweets. DJ Hudie555 posting here on Twitter, replying to this tweet, and it looks as though he did some digging because it sounds as though that this was part of a broader message that Mr. Poole was conveying over the last few years. So this is what it says: the phoenix shall rise, but only once the storm is over. You won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. One thing is certain, if you come out from the storm, you won't be the same person you were. That's what this storm is all about. It's coming, it's here, it's roaring, but you're prepared, aren't you? And then overnight, in the blink of an eye, everything will be flipped on its head. Banks are not safe. The US is not safe. The European Union is not safe. We are experiencing global misinformation. Then another line, overnight, it's here, isn't it? So a very cryptic message. Although being in this space for a while, I think we are getting a sense of what this means. And so Enigma Rigworld here, tying it together. Today's message is a combination of two main old messages, one from October 31st, 2019 and November 16th, 2019, plus a repeated old message overnight, plus a couple of new sentences, the EU, not safe, and global misinformation. And so these were from some old Mr. Poole tweets. Mr. Poole obviously wanting to reiterate this to us. So there's this talk about weathering the storm and the phoenix shall rise. And, if you guys are new to the XRP community, I think a lot of this harkens back to this idea that, XRP, from the ashes, the phoenix will rise once the financial system collapses to the ground. Okay, this is the bigger picture here, the main agenda for the World Economic Forum and central banks around the world. Realizing that the system that is currently in place is not sustainable, and so what their plan is to bring it down before building it back up again. And so this conjures up the imagery of the phoenix rising from the ashes. Over the years, we've also talked about this Economist article with the phoenix. Get ready for a world currency. This Economist article was published back in January of 1988. So this was decades ago now. But, they were talking about a new currency and US dollar dominance perhaps being replaced by something else. Could it be a digital currency? Well, they were projecting the year 2018, which has come and gone now. And it's interesting because this symbol here does look very, very similar to the stellar XLM symbol. Also, may I remind you that The Economist, the magazine The Economist, is owned by the Rothschild family, the family that owns most of the central banks around the world. And considering, this plan has been conjured up by the powers that be, that would include the Rothschild family, who has control over the central banks, and there's where we see the link to the World Economic Forum. At least that's just one of the connections. So we've talked about the phoenix, of course, coming up from the ashes once everything burns to the ground. And so just back to this. Once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through. Well, this to me kind of harkens back to this bearable guy riddle, getting past the storm, moving through. Now, he posted this back in April of 2020, so the timeline a little off here. Nevertheless, we are going through, I think, what is the eye of the storm. Lots is going on in the world with inflation, and, we're hearing numbers of 7-8%. But, some analysts are predicting that it is a lot more, and that they're just not telling us for fear of scaring the people. And then there's this idea that, once we come out of the storm, we won't be the same person. Could it be that because we're holding XRP, we will in fact be different because of the choices we made, whether it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? How will that affect our lives? Well, I know some of you guys are looking to get really rich, as am I. And so overnight, in the blink of an eye, everything will be flipped on its head. This reminds me of the David Schwartz discussion. I did a video on this and I updated it just last year. I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner for you guys. But this video here, in this video, I talked about David Schwartz in this meeting he had with Mr. B XRP, and I believe it was at Swell 2019. At that point, David Schwartz confided in Mr. B and essentially said XRP has to be a high enough price And it'll happen fairly quickly. It won't kind of rally up gradually, because that's what will create FOMO. That's what will create more retail investors to jump in the market, just kind of pushing up the price artificially. But overnight, essentially, he said XRP will get to a high enough price and eventually just be stable at that high price, so that institutions can have confidence that they can utilize the XRP cryptocurrency to facilitate high value payments. And so, just going back to this, banks are not safe, the United States is not safe, the European Union is not safe. So I think this just all speaks to where we are all financially. Inflation ruining fiat money supply. There is global misinformation that is also attributing to this. And so overnight, what will we see, guys? Could we possibly see an XRP shoot up to a high enough price and remain up there? Remain stable. Now, I did a video about this, but I just wanted to reiterate, I just wanted to talk real briefly about this document from the IMF, and this retweeted out by Gator Trader. This is from the International Monetary Fund talking about stable coins for cross-border payments, and they refer to the stability for instantaneous processing and security of payments. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency XRP and Stellar's native cryptocurrency XLM.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.